Hey everybody, and welcome to Outer Space. This game is called StarMade, and it's a game I've been playing way too much of lately, but it's a voxel-based 3D sandbox space shooter, and even though it's a voxel sandbox game like Minecraft, it's not really like Minecraft, aside from the fact that you can place blocks and build stuff, but it's basically a game that you build spaceships and space stations and factories and go out and fight pirates or other players on the server. And it's a pretty great game, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's still in alpha or early access on Steam. I think it has been for a couple of years now, but I'm not too sure. But I guess that's kind of the way indie games are going, is being in early access for a while and letting people buy the games and give feedback to the developers and whatever, improve the game, I guess. I guess sometimes you get a little reward out of it, like a cheaper price or in-game items, something like that. You can also play the game for free on Steam right now. It says it's a demo, but it's basically gives you access to all the features, so it's a free version of the game. And they're going to get rid of the demo, I think, whenever they get out of alpha. I'm not entirely sure about a timeline for that, though. These controls are usually up by default, but you can press J to close them, which I usually have them closed unless I'm looking up how to do something I don't know how to do. There's a tutorial at the beginning, but I didn't find it very helpful, so I skipped through it after about a minute. I usually like to learn things hands-on anyways. When you spawn into the world, you have a few basic parts for your ship, and you have some guns for combat outside of your ship, I guess. I've never really used them, except for the healing one, to fix up my ship a little bit and heal people. There are also cannons for your ship, and some salvage stuff, a few holes. And this is the most important bit here, it's the ship core. When you have a ship core, you can press X to place it into the world, and it gives you the ability to name the ship. What should I call this ship? I guess let's name it the SS Residual. That's probably not how you spell it. Breakfast. Because this ship is going to be small, like, the leftover bits of egg and sausage that end up staying on your plate because they're too small to get with a fork and it's too much work. And after you press OK for naming your ship, you have this ship core floating out in space. And you can get in it and start putting bits on it and build sort of a shoddy starter ship kind of thing. These power reactors generate energy for your ship, which runs basically everything in your ship, the thrusters, the weapons, and any other systems. And you typically need to make sure you're generating more power than you're using, or else you'll have to wait for your ship to recharge its energy all the time. And the tooltip on the left of the screen has a lot of information about your ship, like the size, mass, how many shields and energy it has, and how fast it can charge them. On the game's website, there's, or I guess the wiki for it, there's an algorithm that shows you what the optimal organization is for your reactors, but I find that just putting them in a straight line works pretty well. It's probably not the most efficient way, I don't know, but it works. Since I don't have a whole lot of money right now at the beginning, I'm not trying to build anything fashionable, just something semi-functional. These pillars in space are shops that will sell parts for ships you need, and you can sell stuff to them as well, and they're all over space. But you can also mine stuff and make everything with factories, which I'll probably end up doing later. Ships are structured around building a computer that's paired with modules. So you have this cannon computer that's connected to the barrels, and a jump drive computer with the jump drive modules. You can also pair up a computer with a computer to get different effects, which I'll set up in a bit for the salvage computer. Also, I made a custom skin for the game, but they're not currently showing up for anyone else. So whenever you join a server, it says that you're trying to upload a corrupted file or something. I think that's something they're working on, but I don't know how high up on their priorities list it is. I also don't know if it's just something I'm doing wrong. It could be. Your ship core is also where you see out of your ship, so, you don't want to put stuff in front of it until you can buy cameras, because you won't be able to see. But there are cameras that you can put on your ship and change the field of vision that you have. They're kind of tricky though, because if you put it on the back and you try to fly forward, it doesn't really fly the direction you're looking. I don't know, it's weird. Since when your ship core gets destroyed, you die also, and then people can harvest your ship or take your ship with them, so you generally want to keep that protected. Am I building this backwards? Yep, backwards. Brilliant. I guess I can't talk and build a ship facing the right direction at the same time. There's even this helpful little arrow that, unless you change the direction of the block, points to the front of the ship. Okay, I have it all facing the right direction now. And I think I'm going to spend a bit more money on my salvage system, because that's primarily how I'm going to get money until I can destroy pirate ships and take whatever they've looted. Where are they? There are a lot of parts in stores and stuff, but I guess there's this search bar down at the bottom that I always forget to use. I'm just going to buy more than I think I need. Good thing is, stuff sells back to the shops for the same price you bought it for. Shops do have a limited number of credits though, and they slowly build them back up over time, but they can only hold 50,000 of an item, so if you sell 50,000 stone to a shop, you'll never be able to sell 50,000 stone to that shop again, because I don't think they ever empty them out. Whoops. I got out of my ship instead of pressing space to go into flight mode. I think I'm going to hide these controls to get a little bit less HUD going on. And I guess I'll use this standard hull, even though it basically provides no protection at all. I think shields are probably the best defense you can buy, but I think they've also nerfed the shields a little bit and buffed the hulls, so they're trying to encourage you to build hulls, but I think shields are still probably worth it. And eventually you can buy enough shields and shield rechargers that the default pirate ships and pirate stations won't even be able to hurt you, but I don't know how well that transfers into PvP. Apparently the tooltip told me when I was loading into this game you can save your ships and assign them to be used by the pirates. I guess in the config, I'm not entirely sure. But I guess if it's not a big enough challenge fighting the default ones, you can use your super mega million block ship to fight yourself and see, I guess, who's better, the pirates or you. Now I'm going to hook up the salvage computer and the cannon computer. Actually, let me check and see if my cannons are even connected to the computer. If you didn't hook them up while you were placing them, you can either press V to connect them one by one, or Shift to just connect all of the modules that are connected to the module you pressed V on. And to connect a salvage computer to the cannon computer, you gotta select the salvage computer, press V on your cannon computer, and it connects them together. There are also a lot of combinations you can use for salvage computers, but I think this one's my favorite because it allows you to use a continuous beam. But if you don't have them linked up like this, you have to wait a while for the laser to recharge. And I think this makes it mine a bit faster, but I don't really have any numbers to prove it. It's just what it seems to be to me. There are a lot of different combinations you can do with these computers. I think you can make heat-seeking missiles and cannons that pretty much shoot like a machine gun. It's pretty cool stuff. And I think I'm gonna buy some more. I completely forgot what I was buying. Oh right, cannons and salvage modules so that I can mine a bit faster. When you do pair up the systems, I think you want to keep them 1-to-1, like one cannon per one salvage module, because it increases the efficiency of them. And increasing the efficiency allows you to mine quicker. Oh, I'm out of money. And now that I've wasted enough time building this ship that I'm just going to break apart later, I'm going to press P and open up this huge galaxy map. And it looks like we're in a spiral galaxy right now, which I think all of them may be. I'm not entirely sure, but you can change the option that lets you see all the galaxies on the map. It just takes a long time for the map to load, so I just opted out of that. I've only really ever explored a few systems out of the system I start in, but I think there are a lot of places you can go. I think you may be able to even travel to different galaxies. I'm not entirely sure, but that'd be pretty good on PvP. These little 12-sided polygons here are planets. And I think they used to be flat planes just floating in space, but that's kind of silly for a planet, and they just recently changed them to the 12-sided ones. And this system only seems to have one planet, which is a green one, and the green ones are Earth-like planets, but there are also desert and ice and purple tentacle planets, and some other kind, which I'm drawing a blank, but those are the red ones. I think this planet might be too close to the sun, so I don't want to go there because you start taking damage from the sun whenever you get too near to it. And you'll lose your ship and you won't be able to get back to it, and I don't have enough money right now to buy a new ship or anything. And I don't know if there's a way to resist taking damage from the sun or not, but the shields don't seem to do anything at all. I don't really know where to go right now. I think I'm looking for asteroids, but then there are these stations that can be the trade stations, derelict stations, or pirate stations, and the pirate ones are pretty dangerous because they'll spawn pretty much infinite pirate ships to kill you, and I'm definitely not strong enough or fast enough to get away from them. I think the yellow ones have asteroids on them. I actually have no idea. Okay. I'll just click plot path to current and hope I find a few asteroids while I'm there or on the way there. Since it took forever for me to build that ship, I'm probably not going to show building the ships at all. Maybe if I just add a new computer or something, I'll explain the system. I don't know. As you're flying, you can see your speed on the right side, which is currently 75 meters per second. And that's the default setting in the config, but you can change it to where you can go a lot faster with just the basic ship. You can also increase it by using an overdrive system. The blue bar next to that is the energy capacity, and the numbers there show how much energy is being used. And on the left side are the shields, which I have none of. 5 kilometers may seem like a lot at first, but once you put a warp drive in and an overdrive system, it goes by pretty quickly. The default for warp drives is being able to travel 8 sectors, but I think you can increase that in the configs. There's a whole lot of stuff you can change in the configs, where those make traveling go by pretty quickly. Am I being shot at? Is that just my imagination? No? Yeah, they're definitely lasers. Ah, because there's a pirate station right there. Black and red like that typically means that they're pirates. I think the trade stations are blue. Maybe I'll just head to this planet here. I didn't see any asteroids, and planets have ores and stuff to sell as well. But they should really put a cruise control in this game so you don't have to hold forward all the time. Oh, there's another station over there. I think that might be a pirate station too. Yeah, it's a pirate station. There are some asteroids around here though. I don't want to go to the asteroids over there. Uh-oh. Jeez. Missiles. Did that one hit me? No, I don't think so. Gosh, this ship is so bad. Oh crap, I just jumped out of my ship. Well, that's something you don't want to do since your ship continues its momentum and you don't. Although, it could have been a lot worse if they had cruise control set up, because it would just keep going forever. Well, here we go. Okay, well, flying here I was able to watch a few videos on YouTube, so I guess it wasn't a total loss. Now I guess I'll just keep flying to this planet. Planets actually have a gravity system, which I think is actually a really cool feature. It pulls you down to the surface, and occasionally I've had the problem of not having enough thrust and not being able to escape the gravity of the planet. But I always carry extra ship cores around, well, except for when I just jumped out of my ship then. But I typically carry ship cores around so I don't get stranded in space like that. I keep running out of power. So I'll have to fix that when I get some more money, because this is going to be a real problem. I keep bumping into stuff, but it doesn't hurt my ship. I'm unsure, but I think there's also an option in the config to turn on collision damage. I don't know. Lava's pretty cool. It doesn't flow or anything, but you can put it on a ship as a feature. I probably won't, since I did that at one point and ended up killing myself on the lava like a noob. But I'm gonna go sell some stuff at this shop over here. Hey, there's some asteroids. I'll mine them after I go to the shop. I think what I'm going to do first is buy a faction module. They allow you to claim ownership of ships, planets, asteroids, space stations, and the system, which you can claim. And when you do that, it by default lets you get 12 more ores from, or lets you get 12 ores from a block instead of just 1 ore from it. And where'd that planet go? Okay. Oh. Apparently planets have HP. I haven't noticed that before. I think I'll have to try blowing up one whenever I get decent weapons. I guess this planet can be my Alderaan. Ah, jeez, I didn't fix the stupid power problem. Oh yeah, I also need to put down that faction block. Apparently the front of my ship has a magnet on it, because it just drags it straight down to the face of the planet, even though I've parked it on the bottom. Oh well. Okay, I'm just gonna put this faction block here, and... oh right, I have to be in a faction first. So I'll just press H, click on options, and we're gonna call it... I don't know, something food related. The food pyramid, fine, whatever. Let's open this up now, and enter our faction signature. Now this planet is owned by my faction. All the separate parts of the planet turned green, showing that we own this planet now. But it doesn't look like I claimed the system? Oh, there we go. Takes system control for faction. Now the system is colored to show someone owns it. It shows that for everybody, so you can just open up the map and see what systems have been claimed by other factions. And this stuff is alloyed metal mesh, which comes from raw ores being broken down, and I think crystal composite comes from the raw shards. And here's some ore here. Let's see if I have any green bits in my inventory. No. Okay. Let's mine this, and there you go. 12 shards instead of just 1, which is going to make a bit more profit than if I wouldn't have bought the faction block, so it pays for itself. And I think I'm just going to mine this planet for a bit. I think I'm going to mine an asteroid instead. They have... I believe they have denser ores on them, so you can get more ore from mining a single asteroid than the same amount of space on a planet, but I'm not too sure. I don't know. There's a whole lot I'm not too sure about in this game. I also think there's some stuff that only appears on planets and some stuff that only appears on asteroids. So you have to mine out both to be able to build everything, I guess. Eventually I'm going to build a ship that'll just tear straight through these asteroids in a couple seconds, but it's going to be a while before I actually get to that point. Okay, I think this is a pretty good place to stop it, and between here and the next episode I'm going to fix the issue with the power on my ship, make sure that I'm making more power than what I'm using when I'm mining, and try to increase the mining capabilities. And as usual, thanks for watching, and see you all next time.